getting it together. I know it was distracting. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. All right. We were talking a little bit right before you left about what you wrote for your turtles. I'm giving you 1 minute to think about what you wrote, okay? I'm going to give you 1 minute just to remind yourself about what you thought about for your writing. Think about what you wrote about turtles. Refresh your memory. Like you to do right now is give a sticky high five to a person who you are going to be talking to. I'm expecting you to be talking to that person during the lesson today. We're going to be sharing our thoughts. If you do not have a partner, you're going to need to raise your hand so that we can fix the situation. Can the three of you please talk? Would that work? Hey Daniel, you can come take a seat on the carpet right there. You don't have a partner? Would you talk to Kazai? All right. Deshaun, will you talk to Travis and Elijah, please? I need sticky high fives so that I know you have someone to talk to. Thank you, ladies, for giving me a sticky high five and not talking so that we can get moving. Thank you. Thank you. You don't have a partner? Deshaun, why don't you go sit next to Destiny, please? Thanks so much. All right, you can put your hands down. And now put your eyes here. Thank you, Latavia. Thank you, Jaquasia. Thanks, Demonte. Talk to your sticky high five partner. Talk to that partner about what you wrote about turtles. Give me 5. Lady. Hands down. Keep your eyes here. Thank you. I saw every single student in my class following directions and talking about what I asked you to. I was listening to a lot of conversations. I want to hear from maybe 2 or 3 people about what they and their partner were talking about. What were you and your partner talking about? I'm going to wait till it gets quiet, because it's our turn as a class. Joe Taz, tell us what you talked about turtles.
Me and Jaquasia felt like, for somebody to get us that turtle, but we know him, and Jaquasia thought we were going to drown in the water.
Okay.
Because it was a little baby turtle.
All right, so you're remembering an experience that you had with turtles. That's awesome. I need another friend to share. I'm going to call on a student who's raising their hand silently. Student who's raising silently. Casey, tell us about what you and Cameron talked about. Oh, cool. Very cool. Hey, Daniel, I need you to not talk while I'm talking or another student is talking. Thank you. Yesterday, we had a couple people who missed our read aloud, so I'm going to give you a quick refresher. Soon, you're going to be giving these refreshers. Make sure your hands are in your lap so you're not playing with it. Yesterday, if you recall, Opal brought home Winn-Dixie, right? She had found him at a supermarket. Winn-Dixie was this dog who was running around causing problems at the market. And she brought him home to her dad, the preacher, right? And she was afraid that her dad would not let her keep Winn-Dixie. But her dad said yes. So that is where we are in the story today. As we read, we are going to be making our "this reminds me of" statements, okay? We're going to be making those as a class because we are thinking about our background knowledge. We've been talking about background knowledge for the past 2 days. Who can tell me what background knowledge is? I told you I was going to ask yesterday. What is background knowledge? It has 2 things that make it up. 2 things. Who would think of it? Kazai, give me 1 thing. It is what you know in your heart. And where else? Where else do you know it? Nathan.
Here. Head.
Yeah, what you know inside your heart and in your head. Your life experiences, things you've read before, what you know about the world, right? That is what our background knowledge is. Today, we're going to use that background knowledge about turtles that you were thinking about earlier. All right? Chapter 3. Remember, when I'm reading, you're listening with your ears, you're staying still so you can focus on the story. All right, Chapter 3. I started in on Winn-Dixie right away, trying to clean him up. First, I gave him a bath. Then I used the garden hose and some baby shampoo. He stood still for it, but I could tell the whole time he did not like it. He looked insulted, and the whole time he didn't show me his teeth or wag his tail once. After he was all washed and dried, I brushed him good. I used my own hairbrush and worked real hard at all the knots and patches of fur stuck together. He didn't mind being brushed. He wiggled his back like it felt pretty good. Right now, this reminds me of something. When I was little, when I was your age, we had a little dog, and his name was Rex, and we had to give him a bath, and he had a lot of hair, and when he got his hair all wet, he kind of looked like a little rat. So I'm going to make a connection to what happened in my life. I'm going to write an R on my Post-it note like we've been talking about because I know this is something that reminds me of something else. And I'm going to say, this reminds me of giving Rex a bath. Make sure on your Post-its you are writing, this reminds me of. A lot of the things I'm seeing are going to the store with my mom. And that's great, but I want to know the sentence, this reminds me of. So I'm going to say, this reminds me of giving Rex a bath. Ask the preacher. I'm afraid he'll get mad at me. You probably are making some connections or some things that have reminded you of your own life in the story right now. I want you to tell your sticky high five partner some things that the book has made you think of from your own life right now. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Make sure it's off. This will be the final time I ask you to stand. Please talk to me. Today, then, we're going to read not just for 20 minutes, but for 25 minutes. We're building up. Next week, we're going to read for 30 minutes, and it's going to be awesome. Tell me about what you're reading. Amelia rules. Does it feel like a just right book to you? What are some connections? I see some sticky notes. What are you writing next to? What are some memories that you might have? I want you, and listen first before you do. Are your eyes on me? That's how I know you're listening. I want you in a second to flip through your pages and look at the tracks you left as you read. Did you know that leaving tracks can be done with Post-it notes? Just like we wrote for so many days on our little articles, right? You can leave tracks with your Post-it notes as you read. You have left tracks of your thinking today. You can tell exactly what you thought at least 4 different points. I want you to look back through your book. I'm going to give you 1 minute to look at your thinking as you read. Flip through those pages and see those Post-it notes. Good job. Flipping through your pages to see your Post-it notes. What you were thinking as you read. The graham cracker crumbs that you left to see how to get back to where you were. Nope, I just want you to look through them. Just look through it. Nice job. All right, now I would like you to take those tracks out of your book and put them on your checked off sheet. Put them on your sheet. sure your name is on your page. I love that I see some friends who have more than you're done because your eyes are on me. Hopefully I'll have everyone's eyes and I can give you a letter. Got my marker ready. So, next week we're going to build on this. You guys have done a really good job. I can tell that you can tell me that background knowledge is what we know inside of our head and our hearts. So next week, we're going to be using that background knowledge. We're going to be making connections, and we're going to call these connections text-to-self connections. That means that what our book has reminds us of our own life. We're going to talk about that next week. It's going to be awesome. Right now, I would like you to take your pages